Hiya Hinsters, how are you doing? I hope you're keeping safe and well. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome too. My name is Hinny. I'm a spiritual astrologer. I go by they, them, and you can find my details in the description below if you'd like a reading with me or just to inquire about whatever. If you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. So happy Saturn Day. Got my green tea, and we are talking today about the sun. Yes, the sun in astrology. If you have your birth charts, you've gone to a website like astrotheme.com or astro.com and you've calculated your chart and you have all these symbols and you want to find the sun. The sun usually is a circle with a dot in the middle of that circle. So that's the sun, and now you can look at the house, look at the sign that you have the sun in your chart, and you're already going to get much more detail as to what your sun is doing for you and what kind of Cancer sun or what kind of Virgo sun you have. And the sun is pretty freaking important, not just because it's in your birth chart, but because whether you're into astrology or you're a crazy skeptic, the sun is what we have to thank for our birthdays. When I first got into astrology, I often associated, and I think a lot of sort of psycho-astrologists, as in psychological astrologists, sort of Jungian astrologists and the like, they do often equate the sun with the ego. However, I learned that that's not really the case, because I'm more of the belief in my practice that all of your planets in your chart are you. They make up you, and you is the ego. Like literally, you are the ego. Ego means me. And this is what I learned from Achyuta Bhavadasa. So it's quite important, I think, that we emphasize this, that the sun sometimes is way too overplayed and other times way too downplayed. Like, because a lot of us interpret the sun as the ego, a lot of us have misconceptions about what the ego is, and we want to kill the ego, which I also don't agree with in my practice. The sun is really about a lot of things, such as vitality, because the sun allows us to have that strength. So in the tarot, for example, the strength card, which often has the imagery of the lion, often associated with Leos and the sun. And I have my Tintin t-shirt on today, which I got from a Leo rising friend many years ago. Tintin arguably is quite sort of sunny, quite leonite. The sun is also about strength, yes, and fixation. I'm gonna shout out on my channel the artist Tufawan. He does these concerts on his Instagram. In one of them, he mentions how in his indigenous tradition, the sun is seen as that which never changes its face. So fixation, it never changes its face. It's always there, even if there are clouds or whatever, it's always there. It's very reliable, or more constant. Whereas the moon is always pretty much changing its face, or at the very least, every less than 3 days, the moon is slipping into a new sign, a new energy. You look at the sun in your chart, you can see where you might tend to have more of this fixation. Now the sun can also literally, if you go outside and you look up at it, it can blind you, right? And it can burn our skin. It can give us skin cancer. In astrology or in our charts, the sun can kind of give us an indicator as to how we might blind ourselves or others with our sense of duty, because I often associate the sun with duty. You know, your role in the public open world. That's kind of very solar type stuff, and it can very much get regal, get powerful, power hungry. You can just exhaust yourself as well. The sun also denotes sort of authority, so where we might like to feel we are an authority. Also senses of like conducting, wanting to conduct, like a musical composer, right? The conductor of the orchestra. That's very much solar energy as well. And also the sun kind of has this much more bird's eye view. In many traditions, and in many tales that I've read, folk tales from lots of different cultures, the sun is like going over the earth through the sky and looking down on all of us, and sort of has this very like bird's eye sort of view of everything that's going on, of everyone's business. And therefore in our charts, again, we can get an idea of how and when, or in which sort of ways, with which themes we can see ourselves as this kind of authority, this kind of bird's eye, authoritative, powerful, very outgoing, outshining way. The sun also, of course, deals with illumination. Obviously, literally, it illuminates, it shines light on things, it provides daylight and daytime. But again, astrologically speaking, this is illumination of facts, of truth, dirty laundry, of true colors as well. And we are right now in Aquarius season, and the sun going through Aquarius. That's what Aquarius season is, the sun going through Aquarius. Illumination of Aquarian type things, so innovations, new frequencies, you know, revolutionary type things, the constellation of it all, the joining in the dots of it all, and things are getting more obvious. And this is naturally why you will see more of the Aquarians and the Aquarius risings in your life being seen much more. This can be because it's your birthday, literally, right, and you're an Aquarius, or because the sun is going through your first house. So you as an individual, your body, your actual self, your actual spirit is getting more attention during Aquarius season every single year. Now, in my moon in astrology video, I talked about how the moon tends to be interpreted as our deep down sort of needs, and the sun tends to be interpreted, and I do kind of agree with this, as our wants. But still, both of these, the moon and the sun, these luminaries, they're both representative of desires, different types of desire. Yes, and the sun is like, what do I want, with a burning passion. The sun also is about, again, in your chart especially, it shows you where and how you are comfortable and confident. So think about the themes of the particular house that your sun is in, and that's quite likely where you're most likely to be comfortable, confident, or where you're most likely to have a lot of that confident illumination. Let's say you have the sun in the 8th house. This is confidence with secrets, confidence with hidden things, confidence with your fears and insecurities. So let's look at some tarot cards. So in Kim Krantz's The Wild Unknown, we have the sun card here. Pretty lovely, isn't it? You get this big, bright, colorful card. And you also have 4 birds here. Yeah, there's also the sense of rejoice in the tarot when we think of the sun. Rejoice, happiness. Yeah, rejoice, just being grateful for life and being grateful for the vitality that you are blessed with, that you still have, and being grateful for the things that have been illuminated thus far. And if we look at this Rider-Waite tarot card, which is again the sun, we have similar things here, right? Look at the sort of rejoice and the fun that is kind of illustrated with this child on the horse and this sort of flag or whatever that is, flying very high, powerfully, beautifully, gracefully, and all the sunflowers in the background and the sun itself looking a bit more hammy in this card, a bit more dramatic. And also though, always being there, right? Again, always being there in the background, always illuminating everything. And also the sun has this interpretation of like appreciating or being able to cast light on what you have, what you're blessed with, and to be happy with that, satisfied with that. And we do therefore get with the sun associations with children and the joy and the happiness that children tend to provide, or the archetype of the child, the spirit, youth provides. So that is going to be my little take on the sun in astrology. Let me know in the comments where you have your sun in your birth chart and what you think about it. Is it exalted? Is it falling? Is it does it correlate also with your sun sign? Because this is often something that happens where we don't really relate to our sun sign so much, especially in typical sun sign descriptions. We can be like, I'm the sun sign, but I don't relate at all. That might have something to do with the house it's in, and or with any aspects that are being made in your chart by other planets to your sun, which would make it quote unquote weaker or debilitated. And so let me know the condition of your sun, what you feel about your sun, where it's at. I'd love to have a conversation with you. So yeah, see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Actually, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. This time it's a request video, so stay tuned. I love you very much. Stay safe and well. Bye bye.